All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
We're going to start out by giving our praise, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakadash.
double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, child, I cannot preach your word in sincerity and truth. It's the brothers here from Great Millstone, Atlanta. We're going to go into the major prophecies coming to pass. We're in a time of heavy prophecy through the spirit of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, what we're witnessing, of course, is the end of America and really the rulership of the heathens as we know it. When kingdoms fell, the Most High brought wrath and judgment. They didn't just slide through the cracks and crevices. And how much more America? I remember Dick Gregory had his quote. He said that if the Most High destroys Sodom and Gomorrah and doesn't destroy America, then he owes Sodom and Gomorrah apology. Basically saying that Sodom and Gomorrah is that much more foul and full of debauchery than ancient Sodom and Gomorrah. And if the Most High really exists, then he has to judge this place just like he judged the ancient wicked place of old. And that only seems fit and it makes sense. And the Lord is just and balanced, and you see the results of one swipe of the acts of the Heavenly Father. You got hundreds of thousands of people that's infected and that's in poverty and can't even get the essentials to live with. And I'm talking about worldwide, because we're gonna go into a couple of events that is taking place and that's soon to take place, such as, of course, the coronavirus in different countries, the national shutdown that's going on damn near worldwide. You got multiple countries that just shutting their whole system down. You have the locust outbreak that's in India, not India, the Middle East, but more so in I think the Sudan region, right, East Africa. And then you have, like I said, the big size swarms of locusts, the size, they said 3 times the size of New York City, so much humongous, amounts of locusts that is just sweeping through and eating all the vegetation and leaving the people scarce and poor, amongst, other things. But these are so, certain topics be so hot that you got to just, stick to certain ones in the spirit, And like I said, the Bible already wrote all these things. The Bible already let us know that major events was going to take place. Somebody got that?
What you want?
Matthew 20.
I got Revelation 19:10. Revelation 19:10, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahawashi. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy.
Worship Yahawashi for the Most High, for the testimony of Yahawashi, the spirit of prophecy. And we see Yahawashi's spirit testifying in these times now. And he said that these things were going to occur before he returns. So we know that his salvation is near to if we believe, like it tells you in the book of Romans, man.
That's right.
Yeah. And see, people are starting to fear and feel the power of a God, feel the power of an entity from above, And your church pastors and your leaders will never tell you these things. But they're going on. They're going on, worldwide, to show that the Most High is angry. Nahum 1 and 2. Scripture says that the Most High is angry and furious. See it? I get it real fast. I got it. Just one verse. The brother could, drop it to it in the spirit if you want. But this is Nahum 1 and 2. The Most High is jealous, and the Lord revenges. The Lord revenges and is furious.
Ooh, furious, and he revenges. He gonna have revenge the Israelites, his chosen people, and he gonna have his vengeance on you people for all the wickedness you done did. Like you were saying that quote, how could this place not get judged with all the wickedness and that they have going on throughout the day, on their high holy days, they doing all kind of wickedness for all the wicked stuff deeds they done did, even before now. They children's children, like the scripture say, Isaiah. So the Lord is not, he ain't forgot about that. He's furious.
Yeah.
He said my righteous anger with no mixture.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
And see, the Most High is sweeping through America and the world with different waves of plagues, man. You know, you read about, in the scripture, it speaks about the trumpets, you know, the YAHAWASHI loosing the seven seals and things of that nature. You know, the Lord, it's a series of events that's taking place, series of events of destruction. You know?
Right.
See, this is the pestilence, but we haven't seen the famine.
Right.
How much, because that's just another big prophecy that the Lord, you know, through certain men put out to publish and get us prepared for it in these last days. That's how the things were written aforetime were written for our life.
Yep.
You know, so that we can prepare and mentally be strong and adamant, you know, for these days to come down. Because what it says that the you know, strength of Egypt, the men of Egypt shall be like women in that day. So the structure of even being a true man and knowing how to contain yourself and retain your spirit in the midst of havoc, tragedy, and hell, that shows you that you're truly about the truth.
Yeah. That's right. I got something. Since you said that. Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Mm.
Yeah, so hey, like the brother was saying, the brother just made a heavy point, you know, basically about how, you know, we have to have mental strength in these times, man. That's going to be the only thing that's going to basically give us that push, okay, give us that hope, you know, that tunnel vision that we're going to have, because these people, you know, they don't have that hope. You know, their hope is for America to you know, open back up and so they can go clubbing again. That's their hope. You know, but you know, like the brother said, we know what times we're not ignorant of what times we're in.
That's right.
You know, we know that this time is going to require a heavy level of commitment and sacrifice, and you know, prayer and fasting, man. You know, and staying down with this thing. So you know, that wisdom and knowledge is going to be that stability. You know, those who have it are going to be stable, financially stable. You know, mentally stable. You know, just in general, the Lord's going to basically provide. You know?
And if the Most High wanted to, he could restore America at the drop of a dime. It tells you in Isaiah the 14th chapter, so I'm mistaken, it's Isaiah 14, where it speaks about take balm for her pain. We would,
Jeremiah 51.
Jeremiah 50. You know, it says take balm for her pain.
Would have healed her, but she is not healed.
Yep. Jeremiah 51:8, which I'll read a little bit on that real fast. Matter of fact,
I read it.
Yeah, okay.
It's Jeremiah 51:8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain.
Yeah, take balm for her pain. What is balm?
Ointment.
Ointment or agent that you use topically or externally to help heal and restore the balance. If you got a bacterial infection, you have a viral infection, you use balms or healing agents. And the Lord said, take balm for her pain, it's so she may be healed. Continue.
It said, yep, if so, maybe she be healed. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into our own country.
Yeah, and the health of the world is at an all-time low. It tells you that in the second edition. And that's how we know we're in the last days. All right, through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, because it tells you in these days, people are going to be full of what? Infirmities and, matter of fact, because it links up just with that. You know, the times that we live in. Read that one part over.
I read from the top, verse 9. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country.
Yeah, it says Babylon is not healed, and you see that America is not healed by the health. You know, health defines the status quo of your life, your longevity. You know, you can check somebody's, you know, blood pressure and things of that nature. And Esau does that. He gets into the statistics. All right, he knows, you know, the sicknesses and the underlying conditions. He'll tell you around the range you might possibly live in it. And sometimes, some cases, it's accurate. You know. But this is 2nd Ezra 4. Like I said, that's how we know that we're in the end time, because we're seeing the kingdom of kingdoms, also Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, fall into it from his grandeur. 2nd Ezra 4 and 26. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world hasteth fast to pass away. Yeah, and this world is passing away at a hastily and swift pace. That's why it tells you in Luke, it says, I have seen Satan as lightning fall from earth. So that's the speed. Lightning strikes down in the quickness. Yep. You know?
Yep.
And what it says, how, in Job, the 20th chapter, how the triumphing of the wicked is short. You know? There's only been a small span of time that Esau has been ruling. It's been long to us. And, because at the end of the day, we're just so-called mortal men on earth, and we're taking a direct blow. But, to YAHAWASHI and the angels, it's angels of the Lord and the Most High, this hasn't even been a lot of time, So it says, it cannot comprehend things that are promised to the righteous in times to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. The word infirmity is sickness. So he said, this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmity. We're not seeing that now.
This place is
Every goddamn body has some type of underlying issue or sickness. And that's why we're praying for what? Savior. Because if we were all healthy, if we was 100%, we wouldn't need salvation.
Right.
We wouldn't need a savior.
Right.
But we know that we're in the worst case scenario.
That's right.
And the time to come, which Esau doing, when our article came out, how the space station is going to try to, go to outer space. They probably going to try to take it to the Most High front door. Yep. When you see these different movies, Esau fighting aliens, Esau put that propaganda out there, so when you see it in real life, you won't be extremely shocked. Like this pestilence outbreak. This has been written already in the Bible. Esau put it all on the cinematics, and people believe that those things would never happen. Now we're living in the shutdown. In the time that it's happening. Yep. So how much more these other prophecies, and majority of the world, Jake, would not have believed that these things would be happening right now as we speak. Because they were looking at us like we didn't know shit on how it was about.
That's what I was just going to say. They walk by and they act like that, they be like, what y'all talking about? There's not America going to be destroyed, you know what? It's going to be pestilence, and they keep on walking, and don't believe, don't believe.
Yeah.
But, hey.
Because ignorance is bliss.
That's right.
If it's majority of Jake that don't believe that shit, that's how we don't believe that shit.
Yep.
But, if it's majority of Jake that don't believe in what you say, then whether it's truth or, whatever, if it's majority of them rules. And it could be cold facts that Jake sees, but they've been conditioned to think a certain way, They have conformed with the ways of society. And this world doesn't teach you how to think critically, how to think in the spirit of things. They make you think like a herdsman, think like a slave. And that slave thought, how you gonna break out of break out or level up with a slave mind?
Not gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
You gotta always follow Esau. Yeah, I got something real quick. This is Proverbs 3:5. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding." And that's what that slave mentality do to you. You just want to believe in Esau. You want to side with him on whatever he route he says to go. That's what you want to do. But the Lord told us to trust in him. See, if we trust on the Lord, then guess what? He's gonna take care of his sheep. You see.
Yep.
But if you trust in Esau, the scripture also say that you're gonna be destroyed. Because you trusting in your oppressor.
Yep, you're trusting in your oppressor, and your oppressor it's already been so-called speculated, but we believe it to be true. That's right. Has created a virus to attack the whole world.
Yep.
Those hundreds of thousands of people that are dying off.
Yep.
It's movies. They're going into the COVID-19 virus before years back.
Yep.
Me and the Bishop Tajman, we was talking about Osmosis Jones. It was a cartoon. I don't know if you remember that. It was a cartoon that I think came on Disney Channel, one of the cartoon networks. But he fought in the body. He was like a good germ or a good bacteria, whatever. He was classified, osmosis, whatnot. But he fought in the body, and it was one scene where this guy was speaking about the virus that went into the guy's body, which he was fighting over the egg with a monkey, and the monkey, he finally got the egg out of the monkey's mouth that the monkey stole from him and ate it, and that's how he got that bad virus or sickness. And when the virus was in there, it was animated, so the germs talking. They was like, man, we're gonna make Ebola look like a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Then he would say, we're gonna make it seem like that they actually got the flu, but they don't. We like, damn. I was listening to it.
Yeah.
Because brothers vibing one day, and I was listening to it, and I was like, damn, this should sound like the goddamn coronavirus, man. Coronavirus make Ebola look like a walk in the park, and that's the same disease that got flu-like symptoms, and they speculate that it came from animals, in the wet markets of Wuhan, So but we know that Esau, creates these different diseases, and they try to put out propaganda. They call it the Chinese virus, But Esau is the one that has a plan to push the New World Order through population control, pestilence, death, and things of that nature.
That's right. I think that was the point on that right there. Matthew.
Yeah.
Instead of Matthew 24:6.
Yeah, and I just want to say too, as far as the worldometer, I go into the worldometer on the site worldometers.info. It's 594,000 cases of COVID-19. I think I took a picture earlier, and it was in the early fives or mid fives, But 27,000 deaths, 132,000 recovered. Currently infected patients, 400,000. And America is number one on the list with 17,000 cases today, and 102,000 cases, 396. So basically 102,400 cases in the United States. That's the time that we live in, And Donald Trump speaking about next month, the government's gonna open back up, around Easter time, but that don't seem like it yet, As bad as things gonna get, and they're gonna quantify, we're gonna see, heavy severe cases take place. These in Atlanta, in Chicago, New Orleans, California, New York, all the world, is gonna get hit and bombarded by the plagues of YAHAWASHI.
That's right. We just still at the beginning stages of it. It's going to escalate to that point where it's like, people start, and they are already panicking. A lot of people already know panic. You got those workers in the hospital. They shook, They don't know what to do.
150 workers, and I think nurses and whatnot in Boston died,
Yeah.
Men and women at the hospital just died all of a sudden. A lot of law enforcement testing positive. A lot of senators testing positive. Speakers or people, so-called eloquent and elegant in this world, multi-millionaires with a lot of money. And damn near wanting to file bankrupt on their whole country because they see that the things are getting severe. That's why they need, they really need is file bankrupt because they need loan outs. They need all these, you got the 2.2 trillion stimulus. They got to re-stimulate the economy because they ain't making shit.
Right. And then with the stimulus, they talking about maybe around the middle of April, 1st of May. Before you grab those that stimulus. So that you still gotta wait. You gotta wait. You gotta survive, and you don't know the date's gonna change.
And it's gonna be horrible around that time too.
Yep. And then they closing off everything, and then Walmart's still open, and then here it is, everybody trying to go to Walmart to get whatever they need to get or wherever, it's gonna be mass crowds. Anything allowed to happen.
People gonna be touching on anything.
Yep, and you right there with, if you don't have the Spirit of the Lord, you just ain't gonna make it. The Lord gotta have mercy upon you. That's the only way.
That's right.
I gotta say that to you. This is St. Ezra's. I had St. Ezra 15.
Oh,
So you want a 9?
Oh, that's 15 is good too, but that second is 9 is what I was thinking about.
Okay. This is start at the top. St. Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. And he answered me, Then it said, measure the time diligently in itself.
Yeah, it tells you also on edges to measure in different parts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we see in the measurements. It's like when you have when you measure anything, it's a estimate. Well, not an estimation, it's not, but it is basically a factual estimation. It's not a prediction, but it's a factual estimation to show you the length or the width, to calculate square footage by measurements. So it's to get the guaranteed or the fact of exactly the time. And the scripture says of them, many tickle you falsehood about how the Lord, put the Medes and the Persians, on a certain timeline, and when the time ticker was up, that kingdom fell. You have the American doomsday clock, which is really a scaling system of America till its fall, because America is on its doomsday. See the stock, look at the stock market.
That's right.
If you could,
Most High making them naked.
he's making them bare, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh.
But
and this is the nation that other nations are saying, are we now become as weak as we? Here it is, this great so-called great nation, 400 plus years of putting the Jakes, the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans in slavery, and you don't even have a solution, to stop this virus, and you acting like you damn near dirt poor, but
because with all the shortage that's going on, come on now, they can have these stores, staying afloat like the grocery stores and everything. It shouldn't be no shortages, but it's all prophecy, and we know it's gonna become a shortage of food.
Yeah, and when that shortage happens, the Lord said that He's gonna feed certain men in particular.
My servant gonna eat.
My servant gonna eat.
That's right.
You shall be hungry.
That's right.
More than
yeah, it's more. It said, and he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Yeah. And we see these prophecies, we read these prophecies, and we be like, all right, this happened, this happened, this happened, this really gonna happen. And it's only a few major prophecies that's left. World War III, you have the mark of the beast, which all these things can really happen from the pestilence outbreak.
Yeah, and you were saying that, we kind of like guesstimate the timing of the Lord, but we do. But through the prophecy, when we see these stuff coming back. So we are, kind of, that's how we know we're in the end. We're close, man.
Right.
Yeah, Scripture tells us to hasten the day. And we see these things coming, so we pray that these things come quicker. And we see how this place, we're starting to see clear and clearer how this place doesn't have the strength that it pumps itself up to be.
Right.
There's places that, like we see people that put, like cellular, whatever, the inflatable muscles.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pumped up,
Pumped up.
Steroids.
Steroids. Women put the big breasts, but at the end of the day, they threw behind all that silicone and whatnot.
Yeah, well, like you said, it looks strong. America looks strong, but what's exposing America's strength is, you look at the news and they don't have enough hospital beds. They don't have enough masks. They don't have enough things. That people are realizing how weak America really is, because y'all don't even have preparedness, for simple things like a virus to be able to, accommodate, millions of people in the hospitals.
Yep.
America doesn't even have that.
That's right.
And it's exposing them. But you got it.
They're unprepared. They're not prepared at all. Everything now is starting to sound like a repeated record or something. Like, okay, go ahead and get to the but they can't. No answer.
Yeah, he saw that these Americans were wrong. Because he dumbed them down. He put them into a real stupid state. So he doesn't have to overexhaust himself when he takes these jakes down. Like we were saying earlier, they already got the Connex boxes, they already got the internment camps set up, they already got the gated communities, They already got the social isolation. They already got the phones with the monetization. They got the legislation that they're passing right now as we speak. You know, they already got the control of the currency that which they're looking to digitize. And you have no say so whether you want to do it or not.
That's right.
And they're putting us on curfews and they're putting fines for penalties against the government. So really everybody classified as a terrorist, you know, because we all have the power to terrorize this world through a you know, so-called invisible enemy, you know, as they call it. But if you have the virus, you're an enemy to the system.
Yeah.
You're no longer an asset, you are a liability.
Yep.
And then sometimes it's a struggle in order to get looked at and examined and also to get treated, you know, because, you know what, all these different hospitals are damn near full.
Right.
But you can say on that.
Oh, well, they don't want you to, they won't see you. In certain hospitals, they won't see you until if you're at the beginning stages of it. They wait until weeks later to, you know, you damn near on your dying, you know, breath or whatever, you know. Yeah, on your deathbed. Yeah, I keep going. It said, then shall thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Yeah, and then Jake be like, well, where's coronavirus in the Bible? It's not in the Bible. But the scriptures speak about how it's going to be plagues and pestilence in the last days. You know, a virus is a plague and it's classified as a pestilence.
Right.
You know, spoke about how the Lord also spoke about how he's going to hit the, you know, America, or hit the world with plagues of Egypt like before. And we see, what they say, hundreds of billions. They literally said a number. I was reading an article of locusts that's 3 times the size of New York flying around Sudan, just tearing up crops. That's one of the 10 plagues that actually hit Egypt, and it still hasn't slowed down. They just damn near got, you know, so-called got finished, you know, fighting that battle with Australia. So it's all Esau's always at war, you know, because what he's the centerpiece of death.
Yeah.
And he can't sit in the pop in a seat and think that he's gonna be able to rest. You know, this ain't our rest, but this ain't his rest either, because he wasn't designed to rule. He was designed to serve.
That's right.
Which goes to show you what proves that it's the Lord that is you know, strategically taking them down. Is these situations that are uprising are out of his control. What can you do with a bunch of locusts? How do you combat that? Billions of locusts flying around the air. How do you combat a virus that is spreading everywhere and is killing people? And you don't have a cure for it. How do you combat that? You can't. You know, that's why the Lord always has the upper hand. That's why, you know, the scriptures say in 2 Samuel, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. So ultimately, everything is the will of YAHAWASHI. You have more on that, right?
Yes, it says, for like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
A little bit more.
It says, even so, the times also of the highest have planned beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and ending in effects and signs.
And endings and effects and signs. This is a sign right here. You know, the COVID-19. You know, that's a sign of the times. And most people have never witnessed no shit like this before. When you're sitting down in the house and you're under national quarantine, and you got national guard, martial law in the month of March. Mars, the god of war, death, bloodshed, and trampling. That's all synonymous, man. Esau works a program, and we see his program come into fruition. He still got more steps, you know, on where he wants you, Jake, to put you, Jakes, man. This coronavirus is one amongst many, you know. And there's certain people they possibly are already giving a chip out to, man.
Oh yeah.
By doing testings, coronavirus chip tests, they already got testing centers. They give you, you know, maybe $500 to $1,000, something like that. Maybe not even that high, not even around $1,000. They give you enough money, and then they'll purposely infect you with a virus. But you that's it. Not, you know.
I read two more in there.
What?
I will read a few more.
Yeah,
I mean, all of it is.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, the whole chapter bad.
Yeah, but you know, It said, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said.
The just shall live by faith. Because we
right.
don't know how this thing is going to go at the end of the day.
Right.
You know, how long this shutdown is going to take place, and you know,
who it might affect, whether directly or indirectly. We stay with members of family sometimes. You know how it is with brothers.
Yeah.
Brothers have wives, kids, you know, members of their family to be amongst co-workers. You know, they might get infected.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, you might lose your job. A lot of brothers getting laid off. You know, but you gotta be moving off with faith. You know, this is where belief fully kicks in. This is where faith, you have to fully activate. See, you know, you do your videos, but you don't have to fully activate faith.
Right.
You know, of course, you do things in faith, but this is the time we have to fully activate it.
That's right.
Because we don't know. Everything is Lord willing at this point.
You can't say next week.
You can't say next week.
You know,
We're going to be doing this. Everything has to be in Lord will. Lord willing. Lord
right.
will.
Lord willing. That's right.
Yeah.
But let me see, one more verse. It says, then it says, shall be preserved from the said perils. That's right. The danger.
The elect.
Yeah, the elect. That's right. And shall see my salvation, in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment.
Yeah, so the Lord has a hit out for certain jakes, man. You know, they didn't want to listen. Scripture said that the same shall know them death by pain, 2nd of 9 and 22. Well, 2nd of the 9th chapter going down, but he said, you know, the multitude that was born in vain in 2nd of the 9 and 22. Because there's a lot of jakes that had the opportunity to come into this truth, and the Lord's, you know, arms are still open, but you got jakes that still even being waxing proud now in the midst of a pandemic. You know, still not believing it's the Most High, you know, still not believing that this is the truth. So a lot of these jakes that got their head up here behind it, the Most High got to put them to death, man. Still going to church, donating to their pastors through Cash App because, you know, you can't
go to
everybody
service.
quarantine. He getting all this goddamn money and he not even telling you, and they don't even know what's going on. They don't have no Bible verse that they can read that synchronizes with the times that we live in. All they know is John 3:16.
Or that one pestilence scripture everyone been posting on Instagram. A young thug posted. I can't remember what was it. Kings.
Or follow Jake turn to the east or whatnot.
Yeah, but that wasn't even talking about that. You know. So whatever scripture Jake points to is wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's why Jake is losing millions, man. But they have an unction to learn, you know, through the Spirit. How Jake has a zeal, but not according to knowledge. Jake don't really get down because Jake don't really know what's going on. We know what's going on. You know, we've been speaking about these things, you know, to come to pass years before they took place, and now, you know, we're starting to see starting with the apostles and elders on down, of course. You know, their elders that, you know, Abba Bivens, Elder YAHAWAH, you know, those men, you know, Elder Ariyah, those men were speaking this truth for long periods of time. You know, King Marshall, and we're seeing the words that they said are taking place right before our eyes, the younger generation. You know, so we see these words to be faithful and true, and it was spoken of before them. Thousands of years ago, men we going in the ancient book. People see it as outdated, but it's more updated than these phones that you update damn near every other day.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
You know,
Relevant.
it's relevant
Very. That's right.
because it's living.
It's alive.
It's alive.
That's right.
You know?
Right. Did you have another one?
Oh, well, I got Second Ezra 15. Second Ezra 15 and 1, it says, "Behold, thou speak in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord. and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Mm-hmm.
Fear not.
Yeah, because what other book tells you about things like this? You can go to the Kibanigas, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Metadata, all these different ancient scripts that are the books that was papyruses or whatnot. Certain codexes or texts. From all the way back in the day, ancient Egyptian, writings, and, Mayan, all that ancient text. But none of them got the prophecies like the Bible. None of them speak about all the things that the scriptures say that we see that's going on in these days now. Babylon being America, we're living in being in the wicked kingdom that was prophesied, us going to slavery as a people that was prophesied. Everything, a lot of these major events were already written in the Bible.
Right.
Nation against nation, Matthew the 24th chapter, war against war, the war of Armageddon, World War III, World War II, World War I.
It says, verse 3, it says, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
Yeah,
we're witnessing death. You want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say it says they're gonna die in their unfaithfulness, like you just said, we're witnessing death. Really, basically they're already dead. Okay, the ones that are unfaithful, they're really already dead.
Yep.
Because we know that they ain't gonna get it.
Right.
We know that according to prophecy, 2/3 of people are 2/3 of Israelites are gonna be put to death. All right.
Like I just said, that you just said that through the Spirit, we're witnessing death, right? This is an article, and the brother just read, all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Welcome to the war on death. According to the New York Times, the Corona apocalypse has begun in Elmhurst, where the authorities have called in the refrigerator trucks to haul away the mountains of corpse. After 13 people who had tested positive died of something in the course of one day. Yeah, and they even have another disease that's being in Wuhan, China, the hantavirus, I think. So like I said,
another example of America being weak, not being able to handle mass death.
Right.
Trump is signing all these bills for preparation, emergency preparation, and all this stuff, but they're overwhelmed. This is too much. This is too much. They're bombarded. They don't know. They ain't got nothing to do. They don't have enough waste facilities or crematories for these bodies that's getting ready to come. That's why the scriptures say the bodies will be laying in the street.
Oh, what does the scripture say also when that they shall not mourn for? People shall not mourn for. They shall not be lamented, no buried.
Funerals.
Yeah. No funerals. And then you read the scripture, you're like, damn, how that's going to take? We see it. Did you see it taking place?
Yeah.
Because we know part prophesy, part so you be like, damn, how is that? But you like, that's some shit, man. When you ain't even got a time to actually do a certain, you know how we go custom days. You go to services, but they ain't got time for all that. The embalming and all that, embalming bodies and, having everybody get together in these events. That person might be too many.
It's gonna be too many people. Well, just like I hit y'all with this. Just like the hospital beds are full. Think about the funeral homes.
Yeah.
They're gonna be full. They're gonna be like, well, we don't have any more room to handle all these people dying. So they're not gonna be able to. They're just gonna have to basically, like you said, put them in those little 6-man caskets.
Oh yeah, they was in Madison, a couple Georgia, about a couple years. Yeah, and Covington. Yeah.
Because these funeral homes, you ain't gonna be able to bury, give, do the whole ceremony with flowers and
tell the person why he was a good individual. The pastor talking and the lunch at the big boy lunch.
Yeah, wait on the out of town, get family members to get there.
We on the shutdown. Limousine.
That's a good point.
Family all in New York, they can't come in.
Damn, yeah. People ain't gonna be able to come here. People ain't gonna be able to come to some of you people's funeral.
Oh, they ain't doing funerals.
Yeah.
They ain't doing.
It's just
They ain't doing funerals. Period.
They can't.
They can't.
It's a lockdown. It's a shutdown. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like I said, the person might, if they die from the coronavirus, who's to say when that body? They're more likely setting the bodies on fire, man.
that body might be corona infected.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. And you know, a lot of people go to church, go to funerals and touch on the bodies, be laying on the bodies and stuff like that. Real passionate.
Yeah.
You know, and it says airborne, so the pheromones and the fumes of those dead bodies might reek their place.
Yeah.
Oh, you get morticians and stuff working on bodies and stuff like that. You know how many people is dying right now in hospitals working with coronavirus patients? You know, how much more people that actually dress the bodies and take the drawers off and put the drawers on and the clothes.
Yeah.
Like I said,
With the hair and stuff.
that's starting to be a thing of the past, man. If you got the toupee, or if you got critical wounds, they got to redress your wound or whatnot.
Yeah, it's verse 5. It says, "Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction."
Yeah. And we seeing the sword take place, and hey, when that famine hit, well, Jacob's getting in that mindset of seeing this thing that gets scared. It seems like it's damn near impossible to find tissue right now.
Yeah.
If you ain't get tissue before this corona, thing that popped up, you kind of finished, man. You know? So it's gonna get way more scarce. And we see like that main product that's so you're just chopping down logs and trees and making tissue out of it.
Yeah.
But it's so scarce in these days now.
Yep.
Everything else is going to start to get real scarce. And even the presence of a man of the Lord, because the Lord, through the Spirit, is starting to take brothers off the highway and by. They already made the words that we can't get on the streets like that.
Yeah. True.
No?
True.
Scripture says, "I will make a man of the Lord more precious than fine gold."
That's right.
And when they clip the internet, that's the end all be all. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's when it's like through the Spirit, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You know, everything that you've been told, you're gonna see them take place.
You're on your own now.
You're on your own.
You and your faith, and you and YAHAWASHI.
That's it.
You got one.
That was really good. It says, "For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, said the Lord,
Wickedness have exceedingly polluted the earth." Esau, you the reason for all this shit. They say that if Esau had created the virus, the Chinese created the virus from polluting the earth. Taking all those goddamn abominable foods that's already written in Leviticus 11, Deuteronomy 14 not to eat. They are forbidden animals. And putting them in those wet markets and all that bacteria and strains of unclean animals, they contracted it. Because SARS started in China. This disease, the coronavirus, started in China, and I think it was the third one too. I think it was swine flu or bird flu, one of the major flus that started in China too. And they say it's all damn near the same reasons, because the Chinese people are fucking disgusting, which they are. But the scriptures speak about how the Lord's going to, put pressure down on Moab and really,
That's enough.
jack them up.
You seen that? You remember the brother put the picture of the truck stop?
Yeah.
Over there. Super.
Yeah, their hygiene is terrible. They have the worst hygiene ever.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yeah, they'll cook octopus, a whole octopus. They'll eat those big bullfrogs.
Mm-hmm.
They got a video of a Chinese girl eating a bullfrog. You know how they be like partially alive? They be still blinking, and they'll be damn near raw. Like they put it in a pot and just take it back out.
And the reason they do that too is out of tradition, because they think that certain they're very superstitious. So they believe that if you eat so and so, it'll do this. If you eat this, it'll do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Out of superstition.
Yeah, you make a lot of money there.
Mm-hmm.
Money getting those so-called delicacies in China.
Yep. Yeah, right.
It says verse 9, verse 8, 11, Salaki 7. Therefore said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more, as touching their wickedness. It says, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continuously.
Yeah, so those spirits that pass away and go to the spiritual world, all right, they complain. They complain continuously to the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
You know, basically pleading with the Most High that He take this place out.
That's right. Yep.
You know, and you know, rightfully so, because we feel the same way.
That's right.
We know why this place needs to get taken out. You know, because you know we see that Esau is destroying everything. You know, so we want our ruler back.
That's
you know,
right.
Which is YAHAWASHI.
That's right.
The Lord said He's trying to destroy him that destroys the earth.
That's right.
You know, you see all these things that's going on in the world. Animals just dying off. You know, every time I watch this Animal Planet, you know, any animal they're talking about, damn near be talking about it, they extinct.
Yep.
Yeah, it's only this much left in the wild. By the year 2040, they might be like, God damn, it ain't. Look, man, ain't nothing finna be in the world no more like that. Just fucking big head goops, you know, Edomites, you know, in the other nations, and everybody else is gonna be finished. Testosterone gonna be at an all-time low. You're gonna be sick as hell. You know, working under the man for pennies, polluting these different you know, streets in the city, which the scriptures speak about how these cities are cursed. Yo, we waiting on this nightmare to end, man.
That's it.
Because the kingdom is so much better.
That's right.
Eternal life, rest. We're gonna be thinking about coronavirus outbreak here it has been a kingdom chilling. They talking about the other side of the planet. It's a viral out. Man, that ain't gonna exist in the kingdom. You know, or you scared of you don't
outside the house.
the mystery of not knowing. You know, like people don't know what's going on in outer space. They were speaking about an asteroid that hit the world, you know, a couple weeks back, which they said is gonna miss it. But when you rule and you know what's going on in the planet Earth, you don't have words like that.
Right.
You know? So our rest is gonna be finally given to us. But you Jakes, you know, scripture said the same shall know in death by pain. You gotta really feel it on the side.
That's right.
But a lot of these Jakes, like the brothers were talking about, that's crying you know, in the heavens, a lot of them were killed by 2/3, man. You know? Oh, Jerusalem, that kills the prophets. It's more than that. But yeah, but
Okay. I jump down to I'm gonna jump down here. Verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands."
Yep. Race war, basically. You know,
Yeah.
tension everywhere. Which this coronavirus is stirring that up. You know, which there was already tension in America, but hey, it's heightening, man. It's getting a lot worse, and you know, not only racial tension, but just all tension. Everyone is on edge, man. Everyone is you know just shaken up because they know how serious this thing is, man. You know,
it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another."
rise up.
right?
Yeah, and they keep pushing that purge spirit. That purge spirit gonna hit these streets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You know, especially what's gonna get to the point. How you gonna pay rent without paychecks? And it seems like a lot of jobs, apartments and landlords are still demanding out of Jake. Jake gonna end up getting on that real killer spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, Cincinnati. I know y'all probably seen it. Cincinnati. They said they're not responding to calls with let me find it. Oh, it says they're no longer sending officers for assault charges with no injury, breaking and entering. So you're gonna have a lot of looting.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people breaking in.
Yeah.
This is basically a go sign for criminals.
Yeah, Gotham City.
Yeah, this is basically like, hey, criminals, y'all. This is basically like, you know.
Yeah, do what you do. We ain't worried about that. That doesn't matter no more. You get robbed for a TV, whatever.
Yeah. And they're saying the same thing the scripture saying.
Yeah, it is.
Invading one another.
Invading one another. It says criminal property damage, lost stolen property, menacing, phone harassing. All right. So
menacing, phone harassing, they lock you up for that. And I remember it was a case where this girl texted her boyfriend crazy ass number, like 10,000 times crazy, to kill yourself, and he killed himself. You know, so you know, you can actually be a real demon over the phone, and they're like, hello, whatever. We ain't. They just about to get in the bigger fish. Philly did the same thing. You know, Philly was saying if prostitution, theft, burglary, which is form of theft, as well as other criminal activity, they just waving the hand at it because there's too much shit that's going on for them to care about it.
You got the right of way to go breaking and entering.
Breaking and entering, just get down. And it's gonna get to the point where they're just gonna, all right, it's lawless. You know, it's anarchy. We can't control shit. The government already stretched thin from this virus alone. You got
a couple more. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Yeah, the chancellors, the prime ministers over around the world, the presidents. You know, a lot of people are highly disappointed with them. You know, and they're seeing like, look, these governments were extremely ill prepared. It seemed like they always telling goddamn lies. Like Trump talking about the nation gonna open back around Easter. Yeah. So when people see that shit ain't gonna happen, they be pissed off. Yep. It was like, man, you said it. This chemical is gonna cure. Was it? Y'all brothers don't talk about that chemical that's supposed to cure the coronavirus. That shit ain't cured. You said summertime is the heat might destroy it. That shit didn't happen. You said around Easter time they're gonna open the government. That shit, that nigga might not even pass them paychecks out, man. Jake think they finna get them. Hey, yo, we
need to snatch that shit back. Like, nah, we reverse them checks.
Yeah, like, oh, we had to use it for something else. We'll give y'all checks eventually.
Don't give it no way.
They wasn't playing. They was just bailing out them big ass banks.
That's it.
The banks and the corporations.
Yeah. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
Quarantine.
That's right.
Yeah. That's declaration. You can't go city to city now. Or the really state to state. That state to state they shut down. You can't even go country to country. It's getting you can't go countries. Now you can't go states. Now you can't go certain cities. Now you just gotta be where you at.
It's gonna slowly tighten up more and more. Hey, the county we in right now just established a lockdown.
Yeah.
You know, where you know they call it essentials. Only essentials can travel. If you're medical workers, your government, firefighters, police officers. If you're not an essential, really, they're saying you need to stay at home.
Yeah, and everybody's getting their fun time through the internet, so they feel like, all right, everything's all right. We still got, and it's the perfect time for Jake because they like, all right, we can just play on these phones all day. So it still gives Jake a level of relief, leisure to have fun. But when they cut these, Jake going psycho. Jake going crazy. They're gonna be out on these streets because you quarantine. They like, oh no, they putting us in prison. These prison bars, this is fucking solitary confinement, man. Well, y'all ain't giving us no power, no food. It ain't no food. We can't go out.
There's people stuck in a house with you got people that live 10, 8 other people and shit like that. Yeah. Stuck in a small ass 2-bedroom apartment and shit.
Just through.
Man.
It's a lot of people that don't got internet or cable.
Then a lot of people that live like that. Just imagine if one of them like dealing with the sinuses, with the pollen, they really can't go out. Like just stuck.
And then you got a lot of Mexicans that ain't even legal here.
Yeah.
So when Trump get out them checks or work cut off, but they through, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they through.
They can't even get no benefits from the government.
Yeah.
Might have been working at their job for 17, 18 years and got laid off. Then they said, well, the layoff rate is gonna be that much higher next month. It's like millions of people.
Numbers is just all across the board, just going up.
Yeah, these numbers crazy everywhere.
Everything, yeah.
Scripture says, woe is me, you got it.
That's right. I finished it off. It said, All right, it says, but because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation.
The lack of bread. We seeing bread shortages too. They replenish them. But guess what? When it gets to the point where everybody got to sit down and you can't go to work, these bread markets, these Krogers, these Walmarts, see, they change the hours around, but if it gets to the point where those major food supermarkets and food chain markets viruses and stuff getting that food supply and things like that, because it could happen.
Oh yeah.
They're done. That's
Yeah,
a
that's
famine.
it.
That's a direct famine.
That's it. Yeah, where they say they have the romaine lettuce recall.
Mm-hmm.
Let them recall one of these products. Oh, this so and so has coronavirus in it. Chicken has coronavirus in it.
Yeah, they just
man, that's it.
It's an article that said cats and dogs are catching the coronavirus.
That's it. Man. That's it.
So you goops look, and you goops be eating cats and dogs.
Yeah. Oh, they made it illegal. Made it legal to serve in certain restaurants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Here. Yeah.
See?
I think they can serve up to like 3 a day or something like that.
Jake can get caught slipping. Jake something out. But that's the last point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just, hopefully you brothers was edified. We just wanted to go into, of course, prophecy coming to pass. You gotta keep echoing, the sentiment, bringing out through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, and always bringing out the scriptures. So we want anybody giving all praise, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM,
BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM,